There's a story of a man in a boat who is enjoying the serenity of the river at dusk. He sees another boat coming towards him, and he is glad that someone else is sharing his pleasure of this wonderful evening. Then he realizes that the other boat is headed towards him. And he starts to yell to the boatman to turn aside, but the vessel just keeps coming faster and faster. By this time, he is standing in the boat, screaming and shaking his fist. And then the boat smashes right into him. He gets up and he sees that the other boat is empty. This is a classic story of our whole situation sometimes. Because oftentimes when it comes to this stuff, there's a whole load of empty boats out there who have no intention of smashing us, no intention, no deliberation, no heart to damage. But actually a lot of the time, the offense that we take is the stuff that creates the damage in our world. We have to deal with it. So what's the answer? I believe there's some logical answers, and I want to give you an ultimate answer. The logical answer we'll find not just in church, but in the world. We'll find it among psychiatrists and sociologists and so on who would have views to help us, because offense is not unique to the church, you realize that. It happens all around us. One commentator said this. He said, "I am made to feel quite uncomfortable by the Tricia and Jeremy Kyle society. We creep around in a world where we are afraid to speak in clear and unequivocal language. Our every word has to be weighed and thought out in advance, lest we serve to offend somebody." Sociologists would say that taking offense is a supremely self-serving act. Now, when offense comes, we have a choice. We need to choose between being upset, which sometimes it's right to be, at least for a moment, and being a victim. At school, if you're left, you're not chosen on the team. We need to choose to live as a victim. I'm never the one that's chosen. Oh, we say, that's okay. I'm just not good at this game. You know, let me find a game that I'm good at. Let me find a game that I can play well. If we are standing in front of Simon Cowell believing we are the best singer in the world, and he says, which everyone knows you are not, and he says, you know what, you can't sing for toffee. But everybody says I can, it doesn't matter, because this guy knows what he's talking about, and he may say it without much grace. But if what we do is we carry offense out of those sort of situations, rather than saying, you know what, I need to hear that, because it needs to change my view and my perspective of who I am. We may question the offense when it comes, but my appeal to us this evening is we do not let these things dominate our lives, because it is so, so easy. That domination brings destruction, but it's easy to get rid of if we'll respond well. I want to give you 3 steps, first of all. The first is this: believe the best in every situation. No matter what happens, no matter what somebody says, no matter whether they speak to you or ignore you, or visit you or don't visit you, or choose you or don't choose you, that you would choose to believe the best in every situation. In our society, it's uncommon to do that, because we're so cynical. We always want to see the worst. We want to defend our corner. But if we will choose to believe the best, what it will do is position us to live in the best health. Secondly, choose to forgive. That when somebody wrongs you, intentionally or not, that we would make a choice to simply release forgiveness. I spoke on this just a few weeks ago. Those of you who are engaged this morning, we talked about it again in terms of the responsibility we have to extend forgiveness to those around us. And some intentionally want to come into our world and harm us. But the best thing we can do is to have a forgiving attitude that simply gives it away. Not that it doesn't matter, not that the hurt doesn't matter or the offense doesn't matter, but we choose to extend forgiveness towards it. Talking about the drama triangle, that we would be people who close the triangle, that we don't allow those triangles to form in our world that separate us into our different corners, but we would choose to lift the corners up and fold it onto the inside where we can meet one another and really dialogue and find each other and understand each other and deal with the offenses in a way that is gracious and loving and forgiving. And the third is that we will be reconcilers and not dividers. that we would choose as an attitude of mind, as an attitude of our lives, that we will be those who will reconcile one to another. That where people are divided from one another, we'll come in and bring it together. Maybe it's to beat their heads together. No. We'll bring it together. That where we are hurt and offended ourselves, that we will step outside from the fence and we will reach out and be reconciled to those around us. Those are simple, straightforward, even worldly answers. But I want to give you the ultimate answer. I want to give you tonight the one answer that will solve this problem in every area of your life. Well, what is that letter there? I. Say that a bit louder. I. This is the letter I. This is actually our biggest problem. It's the center of the word sin. That I am always in the middle. I am always the one that matters. I am always the one that's the most important in my world. And I want to put another piece of wood on this eye. Where'd the hammer go? This has got a word on it. It's a word that's quite different to the words over there. It's a name. So the message of Easter is simply this, that Jesus came to die for you. And his invitation is that you would join him. His invitation is that you and I would ourselves come to the cross. The message of the gospel says this, I no longer live. I died with Christ. The moment I respond to Jesus, the Father takes me and translates me back 2,000 years and places me in the cross with Jesus. That my life is over. My self is gone because it's surrendered here at the cross. That is the ultimate fundamental message to the gospel. That he loves us enough to kill us. That he loves us enough to take our lives and to end it and to give us a brand new start in him. No, I need that one there. My trusty helper. Go on, Paul. There. Anywhere you want. A bit lower down.
Some water, please.
Thank you. Put the saw down. Stand there. Turn around. That way. Okay, can you come out? Can you hold it?
Yep.
Jesus said this. If anyone wants to be my disciple, he must pick up his cross daily and follow me. That's not a cross of pain. It's a cross that understands that I died with him. It's a cross that says, I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. And the truth is this, that when we live like that, when offense comes, it has nowhere to hang. When we live as the believers that God designed us and desires us to be, when we live an other-centered, outward-focused life that says, it's not about me, it's about him. It's not about me, it's about us. It's not about my rights and my desires. It's about the fact that God has knitted me together with believers. I am part of a body. I'm part of a unit. And the whole is important. Then all these offenses that try to live in our world suddenly become nothing. This is the ultimate answer. This is the message of Easter. This is the message of the cross. That Jesus died for you, but that if you let him, he will take you and place you in the cross. He will take your life and end it and give you a brand new start.